You've heard Alex explain how the Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced colloidal silver solutions, yet many are unaware of the entire function of the Silver Lung system and how it has been designed to deliver your silver solutions anywhere in or on the body. My name is Mario Cifaldi, and I'm the developer of the Silver Lungs generator. Not only does the Silver Lung system produce endless colloidal and ionic silver solutions, it also comes equipped with the proper applicators and devices needed to deliver your silver solutions directly to key target areas. This includes the eyes, ears, nose, lungs, topically to the skin, and orally for the digestive system. Be sure to watch our new 7-minute video tour of the Silver Lung system at www.silverlungs.com to learn more about how the Silver Lung system works. As well, we are always ready to answer any questions you may have. That's www.silverlungs.com.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. Listen up, friends. This is Alex Jones with key information. The mainstream media is now admitting that we're going into a depression. Don't be dependent on the government for you and your family. You need to get your own supply of high-quality storable foods from efoodsdirect.com. They're the best company out there, the longest continually operating, with a ton of great food to choose from. It's all fresh, made on a monthly basis, not some old cruddy food they're selling you like some of the other guys. Try their new Evacuation Pack, a 2-week supply of delicious, easy-to-fix food. It comes with all the equipment you need to prepare it. With open talk of a strike on Iran in the next 3 months, the crisis in the Gulf, and possible evacuations, get yourself and your family ready today. The place to go is efoodsdirect.com. Go to their website online right now, efoodsdirect.com/Alex, or call 800-409-5633. Again, on the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex, or give them a call at 800-409-5633.
We are on the march. The empire is on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
You have found it, the tip of the spear in the info war. The front lines in the fight to awaken humanity against the globalists, the criminal, eugenicist, ruling class that hates humanity and is here to kill, steal, and destroy. Okay. Let me quantify what I was starting to get into earlier in the hour in the second segment. The system wants to keep people as mainline Republicans. And so whenever the alternative media wakes up conservatives, libertarians, constitutionalists, people that I identify on the issues with a lot more than the Democrats, when those groups start to really wake up and the system can't keep them on the reservation, the establishment starts to take on our political and societal colorations. They camouflage themselves. And you've got the Democrats and Hollywood and the so-called liberal media that aren't liberal at all, if you look at the true historical measurement, posing as if they're anti-establishment when George W. Bush is in power. And they're against the wars, the secret arrest, the torture, the Patriot Act. As soon as Obama gets in, he breaks all his promises, accelerates all of those different tyrannical policies, and suddenly they're defending it and saying, well, Bush did it, it must be okay. And the same Wall Street interests, the big mega six banks that are waging war against your local banks, waging war against local farmers, always trying to vertically integrate and create consolidation. They are desperately trying to keep control of these different groups. And when I was talking about Hollywood, it's not just big Hollywood stars that I've talked to or met with or talked to over the phone. It's talking to them about all the other big stars that they're talking to that are awake, and then talking to other people in television and in radio at the highest levels of print media, you name it, that in Hollywood, there's a huge awakening going on for at least a decade, accelerating the last 5 or 6 years, where they understand that so-called liberalism is eugenics and globalism and anti-human, that they understand that there's a left-right paradigm. They understand that the same financial interests control both sides. They know that. And so they're doing everything they can out of one side of their mouth to attack people that talk about world government, but at the same time admit that world government's real, but basically spin it like it's not that bad, it's a solution to our problems. That's what the so-called liberals are doing. The mainline conservatives, the Sean Hannitys, the Glenn Becks, the Rush Limbaughs, they said for many years, in the case of Limbaugh, more than 20, that world government doesn't exist, the CFR didn't even exist, that there's no plan for central banks to take over the planet, that there's no carbon taxes, that none of that existed. But as alternative media forced all of that out into the open, they then came out and started saying, okay, a little bit of this is true, but we're the gatekeepers, and we're still going to demonize Ron Paul, Alex Jones, Chuck Baldwin, Oath Keepers, and many others. I mean, these guys on one show will say these groups are good, and on the next show say they're bad, and vice versa. And it's basically, here's the analogy. It's kind of like when you're fishing for perch or crappie, and you take the hook and you put a big fat worm on it, and you drop it down in the water, and the worm looks really good and tasty and delicious to the fish, but inside of it is a hook. Or you can use the analogy of rat poison, 98% good food. 2% poison. So the rat eats it, tastes a little funny, and the rat dies 2 days later. And so that's the issue here. We know that the system understands that there's a total political realignment, the third great awakening in U.S. history. They understand that that's happening. They, in the Pentagon reports, in all their internal documentation, much of it public, they understand that there is a huge systemic awakening happening on every front, and they're in trouble. So they have the Democrats play the part of anti-establishment when Bush is in. They get in power, they play the part of establishment. They declare 2 years ago that the Tea Parties are a right-wing Republican creation, which they weren't. They were an organic movement created by 9/11 Truth, on record, picked up then by the Ron Paul Revolution, 2007, 2008. Republicans were being booed off the stage everywhere at town halls a year and a half ago, and in came Dick Armey, in came Newt Gingrich, in came Freedom Works, in came Glenn Beck, and they had to change their rhetoric. Instead of saying militias are dangerous, arrest them, they want to blow up Oklahoma City again, Ron Paul may be dangerous, we need to use the army against his supporters. These are quotes. They then shifted, oh no, these people are good, so that they can lead and control the movement. Glenn Beck still supports wars. He still supports the Patriot Act. He says torture is a great thing and that Jack Bauer is a hero and that we need more of this. If you accept torture, then you accept the Nazis torturing, or the Soviets torturing, or the Maoists torturing, or the North Vietnamese torturing. You can't do that. And they sell it. Oh, we just waterboarded a few people. No, they didn't. They tortured tens of thousands in the camps in Iraq alone, including raping their children in front of them. That's the Army's own report. In fact, guys, search the term for people watching on prisonplanet.tv. Radio listeners can search this themselves and pull it up. It'll be Newsweek, AP, Reuters. Army report details torture of children. Well, when the CIA thought they had you and thought you were buying into this in 2002, they were in the Washington Post saying, yes, we torture people's children in front of them. That's in my film, Road to Tyranny, the screenshot of the Washington Post newspaper, where they promoted it. And Beck always tries to re-invoke that. Remember how scared you were after 9/11? And you said, do whatever you have to? But what he doesn't tell you is that we got MIAC-type reports from Texas and from the federal government, from our sources, and published them in 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only when we got a new document that had been issued under Obama did Fox News and Glenn Beck pick it up going, they want to go after veterans. They want to go after Ron Paul. They want to go after gun owners. They want to go after returning veterans. They don't want you having a libertarian bumper sticker or get us out of the UN sticker. This is outrageous. But just a year before that, and I have the videos, Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, and the MSNBC host, all of them. We have clips of all of this. We're doing deep research. We'd seen these overall, week after week over the last 3 years, but now we've been compiling it. Every night I'm up here late watching this stuff and getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And this is the key, what you're about to get. Listen to me carefully. Why was I so horrified by Hannity and Beck and O'Reilly 3 years ago and Joe Scarborough? All of them. Because they were word for word reading internal, secret, MIAC-type demonization reports of good Americans, bedrock Americans, the heart of this country. I had all those documents and had published them. And many others had gotten similar documents and published them. And I knew the script, and I knew it was ADL, Southern Poverty Law Center, via the feds. And I knew that they were reading, and whoever was loading their teleprompters was putting high-level government secret demonization information into the public through these mouthpieces. Not only did those neocons all go to the White House and admit they got marching orders, there they were. Do you understand, this is the key, that under Bush, they accelerated the Clinton-era demonization of patriots, of land rights activists, of anti-carbon tax activists, of anti-man-made global warming activists, of libertarians, of gun owners. They weren't spending any of their time, except for a few staged arrest of nutcases, with Muslims. They weren't spending their time on that. 90+% in all these reports was pointed at basically people that got portraits of John Wayne hanging in their living room. By the way, I got a lot of family actually has John Wayne hanging up in their living rooms. I go to my family in East Texas. Almost every house has got pictures of John Wayne hanging up. And they're all former military veterans. That's the type of people I come from. Okay? Well, you need to understand something, ladies and gentlemen. That's who the system doesn't like. Because you're not going to go along with banking takeovers. You're not going to go along with face scanning to buy and sell. You're not going to go along with gun registration and confiscation. You're not going to go along with UN takeovers and NLE drills with foreign troops in America. This is all admitted. And so, of course I've had bad feelings about these neocons who went along with the banker bailouts. I've got them all on video promoting the banker bailouts 2 years ago, now saying they were against it. So Glenn Beck does incredibly good things every day. He's the best of any of those guys. He talks about the socialists, the communitarians. He talks about Agenda 21. He talks about world government. He's getting better and better because you're forcing him. And this radio show is forcing him to go all the way. But he still stops short. He'll do shows about the communist groups and the people that are doing neighborhood organizing. And he'll tell you they're communist. But he doesn't tell you that the Carnegie and Ford and Rockefeller foundations fund it. He'll tell you about Mao and forced sterilization. He doesn't tell you public treaties with the U.S. under State Department Memorandum 200 to carry it out. And last night I was watching him, taking notes, and just watching him. I have an admission to make.